Online grocery retailer Boxed is announcing it's going public through a merger with blank check firm Seven Oaks Acquisition Corp. That announcement today, with the deal valued at $900 million, brings in, or at least provides Boxed with roughly $334 million in net cash proceeds. Let's bring in Chieh Huang, the CEO of Boxed. And Chieh, certainly a very exciting day for you. I know you're joining us from New Jersey, where it all started. But talk to me why you decided to go through a SPAC, because this really comes at a time when there is more and more scrutiny on these mergers, especially coming from the SEC. Why did you decide to go forward in this way?
Yeah, absolutely. So two main reasons, Akiko. One is the quantum of capital that we can raise. So as you mentioned before, depending on the final vote, we'll get roughly, if all goes well, over $300 million to our balance sheet. So that quantum of capital is very difficult to raise, given our market cap, if we went the traditional IPO route. Second has been really being able to tell our story. So, of course, most folks out there know us for our B2C business. But really, as we're releasing the data now, a big portion of our business is B2B. So servicing small to medium-sized enterprises, Fortune 500 companies all around the country. That business got really hit last year because of COVID. And to be able to tell that story of what it looks like going forward has been really the reason why we chose SPAC. The other part of B2B and the other part of our story that we want to tell that we couldn't tell with an S1 was how we're beginning to sell the software that powers Boxed. And so all those reasons combined pushed us towards choosing the SPAC instrument.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking for years now. I mean, you've been on the show with us here at Yahoo Finance multiple times over this. You guys have been doing this for 8 years. So to see exit value here, valuation around $900 million is a lot in 8 years' time. But talk to me about that B2B side, because we had discussed kind of your partnerships in Asia there as a reason for acceleration, what you saw in growth ahead. So I mean, how big has it been for you, and what do you see in kind of that next step as you lean into that side of the business?
Yeah, so on B2B here in the U.S., we do feel like we're about to enter one of the most prolific back to school, back to work periods in modern American history, perhaps even American history in general. And so servicing kind of businesses here, both small and large, with pantry snacks, with things that they need to power their business from a consumables perspective is something we're really looking forward to. Now, internationally, we're also not just selling snacks, or we're not selling snacks internationally, we're selling the software. And so partnering with folks like Eon is going to be really huge for us. So, in our forecasts, you're going to see that we're forecasting a good amount of revenue, even this first year in selling revenue. We're forecasting out 8 figures of revenue this year. And we think it's going to be a compelling value for investors who see the future, that e-commerce is not slowing down. And e-commerce enablers are certainly seeing a lot of tailwinds as we exit COVID.
What kind of pickup have you seen in Asia? Obviously, that partnership with Eon is certainly a big one. But as you look at potential growth prospects and the recovery that's happening in the region, what are you seeing on your front?
I'm seeing a lot of potential, because if you think about it, we don't talk too much about even something like Southeast Asia here in the U.S. But if you combine something like Vietnam and an Indonesia, those two countries combined have more people than the U.S. And so those folks are digitally savvy. They're beginning to buy things online. Of course, now there's heavy lockdowns because of COVID. But as we begin to launch our projects there, you're going to see us really capitalize on those tailwinds.
Chieh Huang, always good to talk to you. Boxed CEO joining us on the back of their big SPAC merger announcement.